let us love the black family, because the black family is the civilization that made us Africans who we were. When Europeans saw us, they realized that we had strong family structures. Even in Africa today, when there is none, when the family structures are dwindling, we're still making use of those structures that were formed then, because people believed so much in family. But what's happening, family? Today I'm tackling the first video of my series of the degeneration of the black woman, and I'm calling this out so that we can fix it, not to shame people. So I'm reviewing a video, a compilation, and it is a compilation that has a voiceover of my favorite woman, Dr. Shaharazad Ali. I love her to death, and I am one of the ladies who are forwarding the sister's works, and I feel like she needs an applaud, and I love her. I love her so much. So let's get into the video. I don't want to go into much. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play the video once, and then we're going to break it down. You know, I don't want a long video. I just want us to see where we're going, and to understand that if we're going to continue to be complaining about how the black men aren't doing this and how the black men are doing that, how is it that we're contributing? And I'm not, again, I reinforce this, I'm not saying these things to try and shame people. I have no intentions of shaming people. I want to say these things so that we can look at ourselves in the mirror. I'm all about shadow work. Hit me up if you want to know more about shadow work, but I'm not there. So I'll shrink my face a bit so that we can be able to see the video clearly, and cool, let's go.
This is some of everything that we have done, or that we do daily, that contributes to the breakup of our relationship, the destruction of our man, and the failure of our children to be able to function. They did not tell us that all of that, being my own person and I'm independent, would lead to separation, loneliness, celibacy, and lesbianism. They didn't tell us that if you give up the man, you're going to take one of these things and it's worse and it will destroy your nation. They didn't give us that information. They made us think that it was some kind of glorified position to brag about the fact that I got my own job, my own credit card, my own car, so I don't need no man. I don't even know how we got that mixed up. Ain't none of that got nothing to do with being with no man. Yeah, we have some serious relationship problems that nobody has been able to address us on, because everybody wants to pretend that this is not going on. You know, over 60% of our women are single, widowed, separated, or divorced. They don't have a man.
The sisters speaking. So I want us to replay this video, and I want to break it down. You know, I want to break it down. We saw the imagery. I want to show my face much bigger than it is. There we go. Cool. So I love the sister. So let's go.
This is some of everything that we have.
So do you see what's happening in this video, right? You see that this lady is being confrontational with a man. Good people. Oh, I always say these ladies are brave, bruh. The ladies who be like, nigga, don't try me. Nigga, don't do that. Like, what are you... Like, for me, maybe I'm too much of a lady to even try to do that. I don't think I've ever fought in my life. I think it was one fight when I was in primary school, like, you know, that hit me back. that is the first and only time I remember ever fighting. And from there, like, anytime there's some form of an altercation that I see is about to happen, I collect myself, I calm myself down, and I go onto the left. To the left. I allow my man, if I'm with my man, and if I'm not, I allow the people who are around me to defend me, because like when you're a damsel, people want to protect you. But if you want to, like, I can't do this, and you know, I don't need you, and I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening with ladies these days. So, but we see what's happening in this one.
Done, or that we do daily, that contributes to the breakup of our relationship, the destruction of our man. Like, this is some of everything that we have done, or that we do daily, that contributes to the breakup of our relationship.
So tell me then, if this is your person, you know, your partner, your boyfriend or your husband, if you do this, do you think you're going to have a healthy relationship? You know, even if he's the one who gets violent, then walk yourself out of that relationship. Don't try to match his violence. Don't try to show him that you can do that too. No, that's not ladylike. No, that's not feminine. Like, people are not feminine, and I know for a fact that straight masculine men do not want to be in a relationship with masculine women. You know, it's like being in a relationship with another man. It's like being in a relationship with your buddy. You know, no. We need no
Relationship, the destruction of our man. And
now, so we will break it down. We need to first write it down to see if we can see a pattern. If we can see a pattern. Firstly, it's the disrespectful, the masculine woman fighting the man, you know. Firstly, it's the masculine woman in relation. Hopefully, it's partner. I don't know. And then the second one is single, no good, ain't shit mothers. Right? Cool. Let's do this. So here comes a mother. She's twerking on the camera. I have another, I'm going to do these videos because I've been observing that it's actually a pattern. Because there's ladies, because of the uprising of the social media and everything, people feel like it's okay for them to what? To be very raunchy. If you have a child, sorry ma'am, if you have a child, then you need to act like somebody's mother. You need to act like somebody's mother. And this ain't it. And this, like, why? I mean, we're surprised why the black community is becoming more and more sexualized, and sexualized in a non-progressive way. There's nothing wrong with sex and actually experimenting and exploring with it, but it is when it becomes toxic and doesn't allow people to explore themselves beyond that aspect, you know. So now you so sexualized that you have 7 to 8 babies and you haven't even become 30 ladies. But anyway, let's watch it. Let's watch this.
The failure of our children to be able to function.
She's knocking. I can't. She's knocking the baby down with her buttocks. She's twerking for the world or whoever. Because if she was twerking for somebody, a man, I don't know which man would be turned on by a woman behaving like this. If there's a man who's turned on by this, guys, I'm sorry, but you ain't shit as well. If you're not willing to be a leader and to show healthy masculinity, which is to show these ladies that this ain't what we want to see in a lady. So it's the men who promote this because they support it. They don't value their dicks. They just take it anyway. Even if you see that this person could possibly is a shitty mother. And what happens if you poke your dick in there and then you create a human being with this kind of person? So you're forever tied with this human being forever, until as long as that baby is alive. No. Here comes another one. The doped up smoky mother. So firstly, let me preface this by saying I engage in my own recreational shit. I smoke. But I understand that when I'm around a newborn, you can see that's a newborn. How is she holding this newborn? Why is she doing this to this baby? What did this baby do to her? What? You know, She brought this baby into this world for what? And that's why I'm opposed to people talking about abortion being bad and whatnot. So you would rather people bring human beings to do this to them, to do what? To do this to them. I don't understand. It doesn't make sense. No, no. I'd rather abortion than to come in, because the baby's going to be somehow affected physically, physiologically. She could have the baby, I don't know if it's a he or a she, but the baby could have, you know, some form of lung infection because of that. It's a newborn, for goodness sakes. What happened to humanity? And men, why are you impregnating these kind of women? Why are you impregnating these people?
They did not tell us that all of that being...
I'm so hurt. I'm really hurt. And I'm trying to compose but this is hurtful.
My own person, and I'm independent.
And this
would lead to separation.
I didn't see what was happening in the... Why? This is a very short video. Okay, I just want to see what is happening in the...
They did not tell us that all of that being my own person. And
so now we have whores. Maybe the third one I could say it's a doped up, lonely mother, right? Whores. This is just whoring. No matter what you want to call it. If you want to Megan Thee Stallion it, fuck you and Megan Thee Stallion. This is whoring, and it's not promoting women. It's taking women back, because women are supposed to be trying to show people that we're more than this ass. We actually, if you actually are for women's rights, this movement of this feminism is actually not progressing us, our struggle. It's actually pushing the agenda of men to get pussy anytime. Pussy is no longer the prize. That's why we're seeing the decline of the family life in black relationships, or in black communities, because there's nothing to strive to for men, because everybody's throwing their pussy around, everybody's advertising their pussy, like the lady we saw, number 2, the single no good ain't shit mothers. I got touched by that baby. I got touched. So these people like showing off their bodies, wanting so much to express to everybody who's observing them that, oh, I ain't got shit to offer besides all of this. Look at it. I ain't got shit to offer. Look at it. You know, and if you look at me and you want my ass, you're wrong. Get out of here.
I'm independent would lead to separation, loneliness.
So then 4 was whores. Number 5. We saw what? Oh, loneliness. Okay. I'll keep the number 3. I'll keep the number 3 so that the loneliness is number 5, right? Let's keep the smoking here. And then number 6 is still loneliness. So it's loneliness because of the dildo. Loneliness. No comfort. No intimacy. And then here, no real man. Real. And then so this one, I don't know if I'm appropriate in saying this, but for me for me, I never use those things, like the electrical appliances that they call vibrators, and you know, these objects and like vegetables. Sometimes I don't find it comfortable. I really don't understand why, because it's got, you know, even if a human being carries that size of a private part, for me, he's able to maneuver it. You as the person who's going to be administering it to yourself, you will be just harming yourself for no reason. Like, for no reason. Why then, when you find comfortable, because the pleasure points for us ladies, there's different pleasure points. Anyway, I don't want to get technical on this. If you want to hear me talk about those things, let me know, but I don't want to be doing that in this video. So let me continue. So we saw the loneliness and the no intimacy,
celibacy, and lesbianism.
I don't have a problem with this one, but it's a problem because most of the lesbians shit on men because they either envy or they hate men, and you know. But for me, it's also, it pushes the agenda that is against nature, and anything that is about that, I question it. I do have a level of tolerance because there's nothing we can do about it, but I don't advocate for it, and I don't want to pretend as if it's gonna progress humanity in any way, and that's been real. So that's lesbianism.
They didn't tell us that if you give up the man, you're gonna take.
And there we see the social departments, the government, in the families. And I don't know if we know if most families had men, like healthy, non-toxic men who actually want to protect and to provide for their families, there wouldn't be such
It's one of these things, and it's worse, and it will destroy your nation. They didn't give us that information. They made us think that it was some kind.
Oh, there's a man. Oh, that's a son. I don't understand. But it looks like the social department. What is it called in America? Social services, right?
Kind of glorified position to brag about the fact that I got my own job.
And then we've got the independent. The independent Miss PhD. I'm also very educated, but I don't lead with that. That is it's unnecessary. I've got more things to offer, put on the table than providing for a man, or actually showing a man that I can do as much as he can, because that's what it comes across as.
I have my own credit card, my own car.
You know, I've got my own job, my own credit card, my own car, and whatnot and whatnot. What happens if you lose your job? You know, what happens? What happens? Are you still going to lead with that? Or are you going to feel like less of a human being because you're leading with those things? I'm educated. If you're educated, then use your education to advance your life. Use your education to try and groom healthy human beings. Be educated like that. Don't be educated like very skew, you know. Don't be educated skewly. Be educated to progress your life, to progress your family, to progress your children, to progress, not to progress a company, somebody's company. That's not going to give you 5 cents after they fire you, or after your value to him is over. Mostly these companies are owned by white men. That's why I choose to say him, you know, or her, you know. Ladies,
I don't need no man. I don't even know how we got that mixed up. Ain't none of that got nothing to do with being with no man. Yeah, we have some serious relationship problems that nobody has been able to address us on because everybody.
and then the last one, according to what I'm observing, we saw her put a let's go back. There's a picture drawn by a child that has mama and papa. The reality that children actually want both parents in their homes, and they need that. And for some of us, we were not fortunate enough, and for me, I remember I always wanted to have that. Like every time, like my mother's boyfriends would come, and I remember like my sister's father, he would come around like in weekends and stuff like that, and I always wanted to, especially after my sister was born, wanted to feel like I was that part of that. I'm hurt just thinking about it. So by perpetuating these things, we are hurting our children. We really are hurting our children, and it's unnecessary. Let's just finish the video.
Yeah, we have some serious relationship problems that nobody has been able to address us on because everybody wants to pretend that this is not going on. You know, over 60% of our women are single, widowed, separated, or divorced. They don't have a man.
The stats have spoken. I don't know, ladies. I don't know. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what we're doing. I feel like We need to reevaluate things, and we need to be cautious of people who are hurt in their lives, you know, and didn't acquire what it is that they thought they would acquire, and what it is that they're sharing, the message, the teachable messages that they're sharing, for us to be able to not make the same mistakes. Because it's one thing if you don't have children, but if you have children, we need by all means to have, you know, proper structures in our families. We need to protect our children, and there's nobody who can protect our communities and our homes more than a man. If another man walks into this house and I don't have a man in the house, I can be raped and I can be killed with no defense. Yes, I could still be raped and I could still be killed, but at least I will know that there would be somebody who is willing to protect me first. Maybe while somebody's protecting me, I'm able to keep me and my children safe, try to escape, and all of these things. We need men in our communities, we need men in our families, and we cannot continue to push this notion of we don't need a man. I don't agree. I'm very averse to us feeling like we don't like men. So just to summarize, this video highlights all of the things that I am going to be nailing down and anchoring down on. I've started with my videos of feminism ain't shit, because I once was walking around with the bullshit, and I feel like I had an awakening. You know, I came to myself and I realized that I wasn't actually wanting to compete with men. I actually wanted to develop my own womanness, and my own womanness is not an exclusion of the masculine. My own womanness doesn't mean that I'm all of a sudden going to want to be above my man and all of these things. My own womanness that question was stemming from the fact that I realized that we've been undermined. Religion undermines us, toxic religion especially, and tradition and customs undermine us. So we haven't yet tapped on those things. Instead, we've been degenerating. You know, and it's coming to South Africa. We know that this is American, but we look up to America, right? Because that's what the world is being fed right now. Netflix is just a whole lot of American, you know. So I'm here to talk to each of these points, and I'm going to name them. The ones that we just looked at briefly. And I'm going to be making videos. And that is my niche. If somebody has a question as to why this lady is going to be doing these videos and whatnot, lead them to this. This is the genesis. This is where it begins. You know, this is conception of actually calling shit out, calling shit. You know, and at first I had a long thought and discussion with myself as to all of the pros and all of the cons. But I know that I'm doing nature's bidding for this, because our children need it, because we're not selfish enough to say that if I'm gonna want to live like any of these lives, let me exclude children from my life. We're not that thoughtful, and for me that's very sad. That's why my heart broke, and every time when anything takes me back to thinking for children, I'm always touched, because nobody talks for women, for children. We're always talking about women's rights. What about children? What about children? And if we're going to say, because I remember I said that I asked a question like that when a guy said, let's protect women by all means necessary, and I asked, who's protecting children? He said, by virtue of us protecting women, we also that also means we're protecting children. But we should also shine the same light that we're shining on this cause, because most children are abused by women. So how are we going to be protecting them if we're wanting to link their relationship? Most children don't have a relationship with their fathers because their mothers are just wanting to be shitty. I understand sometimes these men act like shit, but it's not going to change the fact that he's the father. He's the father. Well, you chose him to be the father. You know, whether he's paying the bill or not, the bill that you think is what will make him a good father. It's not going to do that. Anyway, I ramble. So the first thing that we saw was the masculine woman that wants to prove a point, that is always ready to fight, that is always violence inclined. Hi, the ones that don't mind going to jail anytime. I was the last time I drove. I rode in a police van. I was a baby, and I think I was 11 or something. 11 years old, and we were playing around in the street, and the police they took us, and just to scare us, it was just to scare us. They were moving around with us and around the township. That gave me the heebie-jeebies. I was like, never, ever. So me, I don't understand women who do that. Secondly, the single, no good, ain't shit mothers. These mothers who just want to they want to be mothers, right? They don't want to protect, and if you want to be a hoe, be a hoe, right? And close your womb, take your womb out, like remove it from the equation, and whore to your heart's content. Don't whore when you have 5 children looking up at you, you know, and you're not doing any shit thing for them, but you're the one who brought them to this world. And I'm gonna call this out because we're destroying human beings' lives, you know, just so that we can protect what people want to whore when they chose to bring human beings. And the moment you choose to have a human being in this earth, you cannot live without that reality. Your reality has changed, because now you're supposed to be somebody that the human being is supposed to look up to. Number 3, the doped up smoky mother. That mother, that one that just broke my heart. I just don't even want to talk about it. It's just gonna hurt me. And then the whores willing to, you know, pussy free, you know, we giving out pizza for free, and thinking still that if you thinking that we're going to get men that are going to be committing to us, guys, no. Rather be virgins, and then that's how you acquire a man's attention. Or what you can do is use the strategies that I use. Check out my videos if you want to know those strategies, because I do understand that hoeing to a certain extent is that phase could be necessary, but be strategic about it. Don't, guys. You know that strategy, right? And no children. Strategy also implies that you don't leave evidence. You abort if it's necessary. You family planning. Morning after pills. The 5th one is loneliness. The 5th and 6th is loneliness. The other lady was not getting comfort. There was no companionship. She's just lonely. You know, your partner or whatever becomes your friend. You have somebody to always talk to, somebody to always, every time. And then the other one is loneliness. No real men wanting to poke around with dildos and vibrators, which is for me, I don't even find it just to pleasure my no. Like 7, lesbianism, which is a catchphrase. Everybody's being bisexual, people like curious and all these things. I said my piece about that. I don't want to repeat it. And then there's the social department, or the social services, or child protective services, as the Americans call it. If there are men in our communities, and if there are men in our and we've got families, and we've got all these things, our communities don't need all of these things. They don't need the government. The government has become involved because our family structures are dwindling. And then the 9th one is my infamous one, because I could possibly fall into that category, the independent PhD. I don't need you. I got my own house. I got my own credit card. I got my own job. You know, I'm doing the things. But a real man doesn't care about that. What are you bringing to the table? Because if he has his own car, if he has his own house, if he has his own credit cards, and can give you that and more, that is not appealing to him. It's only going to be appealing to somebody who knows that they aren't going to be able to give it to you. So don't lead with that. Most men don't find it attractive. I'm talking if we want to be in healthy relationships. Lastly, the saddest part of it all that I was hoping I'm not going to get to, the reality that children do actually need their fathers. Children want it. Children want structure, and unfortunately, yes, they'll accept when there's no structure, but deep down, that's the only thing that they want. Thank you for watching my video. I'll be doing more on these, anchoring down on this bullshit. And I love Sister Shahrazad Ali, and I'm going to be referencing her from time to time because I respect her works, and I'm forwarding her works, and I'm saying, let us love the black family, because the black family is the civilization that made us Africans who we were. When Europeans saw us, they realized that we had strong family structures. even in Africa today, when there is none, when the family structures are dwindling, we're still making use of those structures that were formed then, because people believed so much in family. But these days we don't give a fuck about family. People are so quick to say, I didn't want no children, you know, because I understand. But I'm just saying, if you have children and you choose to have children, please try by all means to provide a proper family structure for the children. If they don't have a father in their lives, an uncle, somebody, they need that thing. They need it. Anyway, thank you for watching my video. It's gone too long. I will catch you on the next video. Bye.